Hello everyone. Today I will be talking about the new United States Courthouse located in Los Angeles, California. This building was designed by SOM and the client is General Service Administration of United States. Before we dive into the amazing sustainable features of this building, I want to introduce a timeline for the implementation of glass facade in architecture. At first, we only use glass with cast iron. And then we have the technique to make one side of the building become completely filled with glass. And then several masterpieces of using glass start to draw people's attention. In 1952, we finally have the first building use glass curtain wall, while Mies van der Rohe continued his fantasy with glass facade. English people actually started to do something new with the glass facade, which is glass fence. And here we have the famous John Hancock Tower, located right next to our campus. And the Cambridge Public Library in Boston actually opened a new era for glass facade of being sustainable. And now we have the new United States Courthouse. The design and the construction of this project are both finished in the year 2016. This project is a civil plus government type architecture which represented the idea of sustainability and civil rights. The overall design of the building was powered by an environmental and community-friendly statement. It solved the contradiction between city's grade and angle of the sun by having the unique glass facade. This unique facade has significantly reduced the cooling and heating load of the building and allowing the natural light become available for almost every inch of space inside the building. The central hall of the building, which had 10 stories height, provided enough space for public gathering. The skylight of the building ensured the natural light of the central hall. The building was brilliantly designed to stand for two of the most popular theories in modern human society, which are sustainability and community. So now, climate. Well, before I start to talk about those boring graphs and data, I want to ask all of you a question. What's the first word you can think about when you are thinking of the weather in California, or specifically in Los Angeles? To me, as a person who lives in north side of the China, also here in Boston, I would say the first word I think about is hot. Los Angeles have a very typical subtropical climate, which is called Mediterranean climate. This climate usually have a very dry and hot summer and a rainy and humid winter. As we all know, vernacular architectures are strongly related to the local climate, so it is reasonable to see California bungalows in the list of vernacular architectures. The California bungalow can use the natural ventilation as cooling device and keep the indoor space comfortable for the household. Here is the dry bulb temperature data from Los Angeles. As you can see, the weather in the summer is pretty hot. The temperature can go up to 104 degrees. And in the winter, the temperature can go down to 40 degrees. So it is really important for the architects to figure out a way to avoid the building being exposed to direct sunlight during the summer. Since we mentioned sunlight, now let's take a look at the radiation rows of Los Angeles. And here I used kilowatts per square meter to represent that energy. Because of the radiation not only bring light into the architecture, but also it will bring heat into the architecture. Bringing in light is an advantage for the building because it will save the energy consumption of the building from lighting. However, bringing heat is a disadvantage. Since Los Angeles is a hot place during the summer, Large-scale glazing will rise the energy consumption from cooling. So if the architects really want to focus on sustainability, they will have to solve the contradiction of bringing light and bringing heat. After having some brief idea of the climate in Los Angeles, now let's talk about this building from a sustainable perspective. I do want to mention first that I do believe that sustainable is not only about environment, but also related to humanity. The first challenge was faced by the design team is the building's orientation. The ideal orientation of the building will be letting the building facing the north. However, the design team really want to align the building with the current grade of the city. Finally, the design team chose to align the building with the city's grade. However, they used a special technique to solve the problem of solar radiation. By aligning the facade to the ideal orientation, the building can actually avoid being exposed to direct sunlight. And here is a solar analysis I did to show you guys how much sunlight it could avoid by having that facade. The first analysis I did is showing the hours of sunlight the building is receiving when the building is aligned to the city's grade. And as you can see, there are two sides of the building are receiving over 7 hours of direct sunlight. And this one here is showing the solar gain of the building when the building is at its ideal orientation. And as you can see, there's only one side, which is the south side of the building, is receiving over 8 hours of direct sunlight. And here comes the building with that special facade. And with that facade, as you can see, the radiation was received by the building has been significantly reduced compared to the previous two orientations. There are actually more amazing features for this facade, and I really strongly recommend you guys go discover it by yourself. And now let's talk about other amazing sustainable features of this building. This building's water collecting system can harvest both rainwater and condensate water. Water will be stored in a 105,000-gallon tank. This tank can provide 100% of the irrigation water for the landscape of this building. Also, on the roof of this building, there are 900 photovoltaic panels generating 507,000 kilowatts of carbon-free energy per year. However, the building is already amazingly sustainable without those photovoltaic panels. The measured energy use intensity is 54% lower than the national benchmark. With all the amazing sustainable features and its respect to city's history and humanity, my conclusion is this building had opened a new era for government architecture because its cutting-edge design and respect to civil rights and democracy.